that feeling when you've worked really hard and you're about to finally be recognized for your efforts? And just as you're writing your acceptance speech in your head and you're about to thank the academy and your mother and your cat, all the credit goes to your coworker and your former boss. Oh well, I mean, it's just the Nobel Prize. Oh, and it wasn't just any coworker who got credit. It was your husband. Well, let me introduce you to Esther Lederberg, a notable scientist who will make you glad you never worked on any important projects with your ex. Esther Zimmer was a microbiologist who spent most of her career at Stanford University in the mid to late 20th century. She was kind of a genius. She got her bachelor's degree in genetics at age 20, her master's a few years later from Stanford, then a fellowship with the National Cancer Institute, and she got her PhD before the age of 30. All this in a time when she was discouraged from entering a science career as a woman, and she was so poor, it's rumored that she ate the frog's legs left over from lab dissection. Now that's scrappy. She studied bacteria, which might sound kind of boring, but studying bacteria has been extremely important to understanding all kinds of biological processes and how other organisms, like humans, work. For instance, one of the important things about her discovery of Lambda Phage is its ability to transfer genetic material. So it can infect a bacteria cell and then move some of that cell's DNA to another bacteria cell. Or, and this is really cool, you can basically insert a little piece of DNA into it, and it can insert that DNA into other organisms to replicate it. In 1946, she married a fellow biologist, Joshua Lederberg. The two collaborated together often, even being the first team to win the Pasteur Award for their research. They made important discoveries about how bacteria reproduce, like Esther's discovery of something called bacterial fertility factor. They also came up with an important replication technique. Say I have a bunch of bacteria colonies on this plate, and I want to see how those exact same colonies will respond if I treat them with different chemicals or different nutrients. I want to be able to essentially photocopy this plate. For years, scientists were doing this painstakingly with toothpicks and metal prongs. Whatever this thing is. One day, Esther tried using the powder puff from her makeup compact. And what do you know? The fibers picked up bits of those colonies like tiny inoculating needles. So she went out to, her local Joann's or Michael's or something, and tested all kinds of fabrics to see which worked best. Turns out, it was a lovely velveteen. This is called replica plating, and it's still used today. And now, my crafty friends, you too can replica plate your very own bacteria colonies with a trip to Joann and the Pandemic board game expansion pack. Joshua won half the Nobel Prize in 1958 for work on how genetic material is transferred. And the other half went to another colleague of Joshua's and Esther's former boss, George Beadle. Esther didn't even get a mention in the citation. In his Nobel lecture, Joshua said he enjoyed the companionship of many colleagues, above all my wife. Enjoyed her companionship. Companionship is a word you use when talking about pets, or like your grandpa's lady friend. I enjoy my rabbit's companionship, but I can't remember the last time he helped me win a Nobel Prize. Esther is a victim of the so-called Matilda effect, where women's scientific accomplishments are attributed to their male counterparts. While her husband's career and recognition only went up after he won the Nobel, she was marginalized and had to fight for every academic position she held, even though she was overqualified for them. In 1966, Joshua became Esther's ex-husband. Draw your own conclusions. And in 1993, when she was 70 years old, she married Matthew Simon. While he says that Esther didn't want the credit, Simon has spent the years since her 2006 death documenting, in detail, her scientific contributions that she should have gotten credit for, proving once again it's never too late to find someone who loves you enough to tell your story. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to learn more about Esther Lederberg or go down an internet rabbit hole on lambda phages, replica plating, or anything else mentioned here, check out the links below.